Welcome back to the show, and now let's continue with the fun. Painting and drawing are similar yet so different in so many ways, and many artists find it particularly difficult to balance the two. But for the select few who find this balance, the fruits are bountiful. That being said, let us now take a look at this following fine artist. Enjoy. There is a very thin line that distinguishes drawing from painting, and while some artists prefer one to the other, others have mastered the art of slacklining with both.
So I think drawing and painting, how they compare or what makes them so different is that painting uses color, it's more vibrant as compared to drawing. For drawing, I usually use color pencils, graphite, and markers. I recently started doing markers and I'm finding that very exciting. I've explored alcohol markers, paint markers, and I just find them to be more vibrant and more interesting. And then now for painting, I focus on acrylic painting as well as oil painting. Both of these are very different. They have different approaches, different methods and techniques to them, but I like to combine the two sometimes or just focus primarily on one or the other.
Influenced by her immediate environment and the ever-changing inspiration stimuli, her themes and messages tend to vary from time to time.
So for a very long time I was focused on the traditional styles of painting because this is what I've always known. This is how I learned how to do art, portraiture and landscapes, and that was it. But gradually, upon studying art, I came to understand that it's okay to explore different styles, different techniques. And so I started leaning more towards comic art or pop art, which is not very popular at the moment in Kenya. But I found a very great interest to it because of the vibrancy. I tend to be very attracted to colors, especially like very shouting colors. I think that's become more of my style and what is used to identify me as an artist. So what I'd say, my subjects usually, they vary from time to time, but because I do comic art, they tend to be not exactly human. I use animals, but a very cartoonized version of the animals. I've sometimes used aliens, monsters, just to depict or communicate certain feelings. And when you take a good look at my art, upon closer inspection, you see these subjects, they try to tell a story, they try to communicate something. You can see through the eyes or through their facial expressions that maybe one is in fear or one is in panic or one is in a very good mood, but all that combined with the doodles within the artwork tell a story in actual sense.
Merecedes employs a meticulous step-by-step creation process whenever she embarks on making any artwork.
My painting process begins with priming my surface, the canvas, which I think every artist should embrace doing because it just tends to bring out your colors out better. It makes the colors pop. It gives you a clean surface to work on. So the priming process just involves coating the canvas with a layer of primer to just make the painting process a bit easier for the artist. And then I'll go into sketching. Although this is not always part of my process, there are times when I get inspired and I just dive straight into the canvas. But there's times when I want to focus on a more detailed painting, and I'll just do my sketch first before going in with the colors. So after sketching, or not sketching is when the paint comes onto the canvas, and based on how detailed or how complicated the painting is, that affects how long the painting will take. But that's more or less what my process is like.
The immense power art has to both educate and entertain is one thing the artist seeks to exploit, and getting to witness the impact her work has on people is another she lives for.
The whole concept about art is artists reporting back to the community, and for me, I'd say our role and our duty as artists is to express that which cannot be said in words. So I believe that's the greatest opportunity and the greatest experience that I've come to, to experience as an artist. I remember there was a time last year we did a mural alongside other great artists in Nairobi. This was in Kibra, and we just took a day to change, paint over the walls that were old and broken down, and we turned it into something beautiful. And just seeing the reaction that we got from the community was, very fulfilling. And for me, that's one of the greatest opportunities and experiences that comes with being an artist.
For a long time, marketing of her artworks had proved to be a hard piece of the puzzle to place, but the rise of social media and networking made sure she had ready platforms for marketing.
Well, for marketing, I would say this is something I actually struggled with a lot as an artist that was just getting into the scene. I found it very tough to market myself, but it doesn't have to be, because in this age we have social media, we have spaces that are pro-artists, So I think as an artist, you have to, first of all, believe in your creation. You have to sell yourself. You have to put yourself out there. There's so many platforms that you're able to just share your work.
As a form of art that is relatively new in the Kenyan art scene, the artist has found it particularly arduous to popularize it. However, every art piece she does is a step in the right direction.
My style of art is more contemporary. It's more, no one really takes doodling seriously, but it's becoming something that's slowly becoming appreciated, I think. But for me, that's the biggest challenge I'm facing at the moment, because most people tend to appreciate more the traditional forms of art, just portraiture, sculpture, landscapes, but not exactly looking into doodles or cartoons that are drawn. Most people have for a long time assumed it to be a jokative, like a joke type of art, which hurts. But I believe everything works out with time, and the beauty of art is in the diversity, so somehow we're going to get there. You can find me and interact with me at Merecedes Nyagaya on all social media platforms. That's Merecedes.Nyagaya.
A young maestro employing experimenting and perfection at the same time.